So, hi, I am so freaking excited to have you guys here. I know you live people just was like, that was redundant AF, but it was. So, hi, let's get this party started. So, we're going to be going over quite a few things. So, if you have any questions, load it up in the chat. But I also want you to put in the chat where you're from and your name. Like, let's get social because I get bored listening to them. Just kidding. But I do like to talk to you guys and interact. I was kidding. I'm not as funny as I think I am. But yeah, so I better see the chat start blowing up. And so far it's not, so you guys aren't taking great direction. Just kidding. You'll hear me say that a lot. I'm sometimes an a-hole and then I say just kidding to think it like fixes it, but it doesn't usually. So they just roll their eyes at me, and you're going to learn the exact same thing, especially when you join one of our teams, because we're all besties. We're all biz besties. We all, are part of the big same team. And so when you get one of us, you get all of us, including our upline. So it's literally like a huge family. So I'm going to go ahead and let them go ahead and start talking. So I'm going to stop the share. And which one of you guys want to talk first? Because I talked last time, and I need to drink more. That's all you, Brett?
Brett. No.
Kayla, it's all you.
I like how our story is like, okay, whatever. I liked how our story is kind of, okay, there I am. Wow. So, hi. I do not feel very prepared tonight. So here I go. So I am Kayla. I am, like I said, Twin Mama Fitness over on Instagram, and I've got a Facebook page, same thing. But I am from Clarksville, Tennessee, and I've been coaching for 2 years exactly as of like last week. So I work full time. I've got twin boys that are 2.5, and I do this on the side. And so just a little bit about, my story, my backstory. I've always been into fitness and working out. I used to go to the gym a lot, and I just thought I knew what I was doing. And, my husband's big into the gym and stuff, and that's always been a part of like our routine. And so the thought of doing like at-home workouts and stuff was just like not an option. I didn't think I would have the, accountability and the motivation to actually do it. And so, it just never was a thing. Well, fast forward to about 2014, and I didn't start at-home workouts, but I did start trying to have a family and become more, healthy and lose some weight and things like that. I didn't like have a whole lot of weight to lose. I just needed to lose, a little bit. Just to kind of get me, I guess, started out on the right foot as far as pregnancy goes. And so I ended up getting pregnant, and a couple weeks later I had a doctor's appointment and learned that I had had a miscarriage. And at that point I was just kind of like numb to it all. I didn't really know, I was just, we had a really busy time in our life at that point. We had just sold our house. We had to be moved out of it within a month, had to find a temporary living arrangement because we were going to be building a home, and, had to live somewhere for 6 months, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And so I firmly believe that, that was not the appropriate time. But later on in the year, this is 2015, I kind of just like let myself go. I'd had, great results in 2014 with what I was doing. And I was learning a little bit more about food and whatnot, and still would cut out stuff and, restrict myself. But, long story short, I ended up, getting pregnant again, and I got pregnant with twins. And so I always say that was kind of like God's way of saying, hey, here's another opportunity for you to,
Odin, I need you to eat your food.
First child. Do we have everyone muted on here? If you're not muted, do you guys mind muting yourself, please?
I'm keeping track of it. You're good.
Okay, cool. So let's see, where was I? So I had started, at that point, I actually started following my coach, Ashley, You know, and I was watching her and seeing what she was doing. I wasn't really working a whole lot or working out a whole lot when I was pregnant. I did work out basically the second trimester, and then I was told at, you know, third trimester to kind of like slow it down and whatever. And so I kept watching and I kept seeing what she was doing, and I was just so determined to be able to still keep my same gym routine after I had the boys and went back to work. And I did that for a little bit while I was on maternity leave, and then all of a sudden, you know, you go back to work, you go back to work in full time, and those, you know, boot camp classes you were attending at 5 a.m. are no longer an option because you have to get kids ready and, you know, for the day, and you got to get yourself ready. And it wasn't that I didn't have a husband to help. He just goes into work super early. And so in the mornings, it's just me. So I had to find something different because I would go to, you know, the classes that my boot camp trainer offered in the evenings. She would offer like 5:30 classes, but that meant I had to wait around for 30 minutes just to go and like work out. And then I wouldn't get home until like 7 o'clock, which back then was when the boys would go to bed. And so it didn't fit with my lifestyle, but I was so determined to, you know, keep up with this routine and figure out a way to not become another statistic. And what I mean by that is another statistic of a mom letting herself go because she's got kids. And I don't mean that in any way. I just told myself from day one when I was pregnant that I was going to always continue, you know, working on, you know, my healthy lifestyle and still working on myself and not forgetting about who I was before I had the kids. And so a way I was able to do that was through coaching. And so I didn't really know coaching was a thing for the longest time. I didn't understand it all. You know, I would see people posting and, you know, basically not saying what it was that they were doing, but I was curious. And so, you know, in my boot camp classes, I was always like the cheerleader. I always, you know, loved cheering people on and helping people during workouts and stuff, but I never had any interest in becoming like a personal trainer. It's not my thing. Like, I don't want to be on my A game all the time. And, so that's where kind of coaching fell into my lap, and I just, you know, decided to actually work this business. A lot of people, you're going to hear from Allie and Brittany, a lot of people started this as like a discount thing. They just wanted it for the discount. Me actually went all in. I wanted this to be a business. I saw this as an opportunity to have extra income because having twins and them being the same age and going to daycare, it's pricey. And so are the diapers and the formula and all of that. And, you know, if I can make this into a full-time thing, that would be awesome. So that was my thought process in the beginning. So here I am. I don't know. I'm sure I've missed something. I feel like I could be talking about other stuff, but is there anything else I could discuss? What you got for me? Questions for me before I toss the mic to someone else? All these chats going through. All right. Who's next?
Britt.
Guess it would help if I unmuted myself. I'm waiting for that moment where it like switches. It's going to catch me here in a second. It's going to make me full size, and I don't want it to catch me off. There we go.
I hate that.
Woo! There is nothing like seeing like a 14-inch version of your face right in front of you. So I'm Brittany. I go by Britt Kai Fit. On Instagram, I am 25. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. My journey kind of starts a little bit further back, going back to when I was like 12-ish years old. I started to develop signs of depression, binge eating disorder. You know, there wasn't really a name for it back then. Binge eating disorder is something that's fairly new in the medical community as far as eating disorders go, you know, being recognized as one anyway. It went pretty, you know, untreated. I moved across the country when I was 12, almost 13. And, you know, there was just a lot of changes. I ended up being diagnosed with PCOS. Some of you guys might know what that is. In layman's terms, that coupled with my hypothyroidism makes it really easy for me to gain weight and really difficult for me to lose weight. So that kind of, with the depression, with the binge eating disorder, it was just this vicious cycle that continued throughout my teenage years into college. I moved just over an hour away for college, and I ended up burning through my life savings at that point, which wasn't a whole lot, but it was a couple $1,000s, and I ended up burning through it on food and gaining tons of weight. I was putting on about 50 pounds a year at that point. And it definitely led to me being suicidal. I was suicidal throughout most of the end of my high school career. It definitely wasn't for a lack of love. I never had anything super traumatic happen to me. I came from a loving home. I was very blessed that way. I've always had a super supportive family. It's just not how my chemicals in my brain work. But it went, super untreated, and, just kind of continued that vicious cycle. So fast forward to 2017, very end of 2016, early 2017, I was super depressed. Definitely one of the lowest points of my life. I had already planned out my suicide. I was doing, preventive measures because I didn't want to be a burden to my family beyond actually dying, pretty much. I had, I was starting to pay off credit cards. I was going to box up everything in my room, and, just make sure everything was taken care of for when it was over. I got a little inspired to join a gym in the beginning of 2017, and Planet Fitness was doing their $1 down, $10 a month, whatever it was. And so I did that. I went once, and whenever you're in the gym, which I love working out, I want to preface this with I love working out. I love the gym atmosphere. It's never really been super intimidating to me. I'm actually a certified personal trainer. It's just I love fitness. But so I go to Planet Fitness, and there's those lingering thoughts of what if people are looking at me or staring at me or whatever. And I was like, you know what, Brittany, just get out of your own head, go to the stupid gym, get this thing done. You love to work out. You need to get off the weight, and go from there. So I get to the gym, and I get on a treadmill, and I hear two guys, kind of laughing in the background. And so instantly my head's like, oh, they're for sure laughing at you. And I was like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And then they started to moo at me like a cow, and I realized that they were, in fact, making fun of me. And I just picked up my stuff and hauled ass out of there, and, never went back. And that definitely didn't help with, being suicidal for sure. But I ended up going to, so I ended up going home, and I was scrolling on social media, just pondering the whole life and existence thing again. And I ended up stumbling across this girl who was posting stuff about beauty tips, which I love, makeup and all of that. And so I ended up following her on Facebook. She was posting some fitness stuff too, but I was 0% interested in that, especially because she was working out at home, and I knew that I couldn't ever be motivated at home because if the couch is 20 feet away, why would I work out at home? So I ended up following her, and she was posting, some motivational stuff on the side. And I ended up, just kind of really spending my weeks looking forward to what she would do, call her Friday faves, where she'd go through beauty products and some fitness products and whatever, just stuff that she loved. And I ended up liking a lot of the same things. And that kind of ended up being what got me through week to week. You guys might know her. Her name is Ashley Molstad. She used to be Foodie Girl Fitness on Facebook and Instagram. And my mom, I live at home, single income, working on saving up for a house. So my mom ended up, catching on that I was watching her. My sister and brother-in-law, they had been engaged. They were getting ready to get married. August 2017, we were about a year out from their wedding, and I was at my heaviest weight. And I really didn't want to resent the way that I looked in my brother-in-law and sister's wedding photos, which might sound vain, but it's, what got me to pull the trigger. My mom gave me a gentle nudge to just go for it. I was so broke because I was spending my money on food that I had to beg her to pay for it. So I could start, but I ended up signing up with Ashley, holding on to that 30-day money back guarantee. And then the rest is history. I ended up losing 14 pounds and 14 inches with 21-day fix. And I never really looked back because I finally found a weight loss solution that worked for me, that also filled me with a community of people that are just incredibly supportive and amazing. So I actually joined it as a discount coach because I'm super cheap. I had no intention of ever working the business. 8 months later, I just felt like I was called to share this with people. There's the income side of it, but really I just wanted to show people that there is hope for them as far as self-love goes, because that's not something I ever really thought that I was just meant for. So I've been a coach for almost a year now, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And it saved my life. It literally saved my life. The 2 girls that are on this call with me tonight, they are my ride or dies. They are everything to me. They're my best friends, and I never would have met them without coaching.
I love you.
Way out.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Okay, I guess this is my turn to make my face really big. Are y'all ready? Because you're going to see all the gorgeous zits. Here we go. Hi. Okay, so I am completely different than both of them. Like, I think that's the best thing about our stories. They're all so different, but they're all super similar also. So I, like Brittany's, starts way back. So I have struggled with my weight since the earliest I can remember is 8 years old, stepping on a scale and telling my mom that I am so much fatter than all the other girls, that none of the boys like me. And I've always been like super girly. Like, I love, looking pretty. I love the boys. Like, I always loved being the center of attention. Like, I've always been super extroverted. And I remember going home and saying, Mom, like, the boys think I'm ugly. Like, I'm fat. I need to lose weight. And to this day, it breaks my heart to think, because I know I'm raising my daughter, and then that's like my biggest goal, is to raise her to not be that way. And so I started my first diet when I was 12 years old. I grew up very poor, very, very poor. And so we were on Medicaid, and that Medicaid actually provides Weight Watchers for kids if you have your adult sign off on it and all that. So I begged my mom to put me on Weight Watchers at 12 years old. And I started dieting at 12 years old. And that is when the vicious cycle began. So I started yo-yoing from there. I dieted. I would step on the scale every single day, 3 times a day. And that's really when my scale addiction started. And then it really got bad when I hit middle school. So I hit middle school, and I was going to start cheerleading, and I was the biggest girl in the squad, and I wanted to so bad, but I was the biggest girl, and I was always like, why can't I, be a flyer, or why can't I do this? And so I started basically starving myself. I, at 14 years old, told my mom that I was full all the time, and I started starving myself. And then high school came, and I realized that I liked food way too fucking much. And sorry if there's kids. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Way too freaking much to starve myself. So then I started with my bulimia, and I started throwing up, and I started, binging and purging. And I went in with all the girls in the bathroom, and we all did it together. It was kind of like a squad thing. And that is really where my eating disorder started, was in cheerleading and always trying to fit in the uniforms, because I was the big girl. I always had to get special uniforms made. I always, I was always the bigger girl, and I was athletic, but I was bigger. I didn't have the thigh gap that all the cheerleaders had. I didn't have, the pencil. I was curvy. I had all these curves in all the wrong places, I felt like. And so I started, throwing up until my senior year. And in my senior year of high school, I met my now husband, but he was my boyfriend then. And y'all, you know what happens when you get comfortable, you'll start looking comfortable. And he was an older boy, and he would take me out all the time. We would go out to eat, and I gained about 50 pounds when I started dating him. I quit the cheerleading squad. I quit everything, and I focused fully on him. We started dating in February. By April, I had moved in with him because me and my mom had a super toxic relationship. So then I moved in with him in April, and we started dieting together. And my version of dieting was Special K and, freaking protein bars. That was what we always did, or Lean Cuisine. Special K, protein bars, and Lean Cuisines. I don't know if any of you guys all had that past where you thought that was healthy. But that was what I had dieted on. I had joined the gym for the 3rd time, but I never felt comfortable in the gym. They both loved the gym. I am the exact opposite. Every single time I went to the gym, I had this freaking anxiety-ridden thing of like somebody staring at me. People are watching me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting here running the treadmill or on the elliptical every single day because that's where I feel like girls should be, because I don't want to be over there with the meatheads as they're sitting there judging my form or something. And so I would always confine myself to the bicycle, the elliptical, or the treadmill. I would walk a few miles. I would spend literally 2 hours at the gym and get nowhere. And so I would quit. Or I'd go from the gym to the drive-thru with Taco Bell and go and get me a Burritos Loco or a Doritos Locos taco or 2. And that was like my routine. And so I had done that for so long and quit and started again. And then my mom died. And so when I lost my mom, I lost my entire world. So I lost my mom when I was 18 years old. So I was almost 19 years old. And she passed away very, very unexpectedly. She had an enlarged heart. And that ripped my entire soul out because we just started getting along. We just started really developing a relationship. And then she went and died on me. And I felt left. I felt betrayed. And so I shut down and I started binge eating and I started doing all the things that I knew I shouldn't be doing. And it was the exact reasoning that she died. She died, of high cholesterol, diabetes, a heart attack essentially. And so, I sat in my pity party for very long. I had gained about 20 pounds. I wouldn't leave my room. I wanted to die at that point. I never had a dad. My mom was a single mom and raised us and my 2 siblings from, by herself on disability, fixed income and everything. And I didn't feel as bad for me as I did as my little brother, because my little brother was only 7 at that time. And so at least I have these memories. And then I also beat myself up because the last thing she asked me to do was come home and get a bowl of French onion soup. And I said I was too busy. And I told her that I would be over the next day, and I didn't, and she died. And so I held that over my head too. And I just was so lost. And I finally snapped out of it. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do this to my future kids. And so I started killing. And this time Chris left to go work in the Bahamas, or he went to work in West Virginia at this time. And I was like, you know what? I don't have anything to live for right now. My boyfriend's gone in West Virginia working. My mom's dead. I don't have any family. I don't have any friends. So I might as well just spend all my time in the gym. And so I would go, I got a 24-hour gym membership, and I would go in the middle of the night where nobody was there, so nobody could stare at me or judge me. And I basically went and spent 3 to 4 hours in the gym every single day. I would eat on these little saucer plates, and I would have a little bit of protein. I was basically starving myself thin. And guess what, y'all? I got results for the umpteenth time. And then guess what? I gained it all back because I ended up finding out I was pregnant. And I was so elated. I was like, this is God's giving me. I was like, God is giving me this beautiful little baby. And my mom said, you know what? I know you lost me, but here's this baby, and this is going to help replace me. And I was so elated. I was 19, but I didn't care. I thought this was a godsend. And so I ended up still staying at the gym. I was going to have a fit pregnancy. And then 13 weeks, we went to the doctor and we found out we had lost the baby. And my whole freaking world came crumbling down again. And I gained 80 pounds. I wouldn't leave my bedroom. I wouldn't leave my house. I wouldn't talk to my boyfriend. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped everything. I quit my job. Like I wouldn't go to work. I literally was on the verge of suicide every single day. They had suicide watch on me. Every time my husband had to go to work, my mother-in-law was over there watching me because they did not think I was going to make it through that. And I didn't think I was going to make it through that either. I lost my mom, and 3 months later, I lost a baby. And so I sulked and I gained weight. And then I realized that I couldn't do this forever. I was going to lose the only man that ever loved me. And then I just started trying for another baby again. I didn't need one. We weren't married, nothing, but I was trying to fill this void in my heart. And so we ended up getting pregnant with Riley, and I did everything the exact opposite. I was scared to work out because I thought it was me that lost the baby because I worked out. I ate like shit the entire time. I literally wouldn't move because I was afraid that if I bent the wrong way, or if I moved the wrong way, or if I did the wrong thing, that I would lose this baby. And I didn't want that to happen. And so I ended up gaining 85 pounds with that pregnancy. And then once I gave birth to her, she was beautiful, a gorgeous little baby. And then I realized, oh shit, like there's all this weight back, and I would love to say that that is where my journey started, but it's not. I was a statistic. I did let being a mom get in the way of my fitness journey. I was working full time at this 9-to-5 corporate job. I was having the postpartum because I'm sitting in a freaking office crying as I'm pumping my tits because I couldn't be at home with my baby. And the last thing I wanted to do was go to a gym and work out when I could be home with her after already having this mama guilt. And so it was an entire year after I had her that I decided to start a fitness journey. And I was scrolling on social media, I was scrolling on social media, and then I came across Ashley, and I came across a photo of her, and it was like this self-love post. It went viral. So she was in this like P90X sports bra, and like she was bent over and whatever, talking about how she loves herself regardless. And I'm like, I don't know what this girl's selling. I don't know, but all I know is I need some. Like I need the love that she has for herself, because right now I despise myself. And so I reached out to her, and she told me it was Beachbody, and then I was automatically not interested because I'd done Beachbody before. I bought an Insanity Max 30 DVD set off of an infomercial. Those 3 easy payments of $39.95. You guys know those ones? Yeah. So I bought one of those, and it never left the box. And so I just thought that wasn't for me. And I didn't think I could stay consistent enough at home. And so I dabbled in it. I, ghosted her. And then, I was like, you know what? I've got to do this. Like, I've got to see, because I don't ever like to stay in that realm of what if this was my solution? So this was back in 2016. I signed up because I just got engaged, and I wouldn't sign up for the coaching. I refused to drink Shakeology. I said, I'm not a shake person. The only way I'm drinking my calories if it's in the form of tequila. Do you feel me? And so I was like the worst person ever. I didn't want to do the meal plan because it stressed me out. So I started again on Weight Watchers, and I did Weight Watchers with Beachbody On Demand for the entire first year. So from 2016 to 2017 when I started, this journey this year. So 2016 to get prepped for my wedding, I'd lost 20 pounds in the entire year. And y'all, at almost 300 pounds, that's not that great. And then once I went on my honeymoon, I gained it all back. And I was back at square one, and I was broken. I thought I was broken. This is the point where I was contemplating weight loss surgery, because I just knew, and nothing's wrong with weight loss surgery if you need it, but I didn't need it. I was lazy. I mean, that's what it boiled down to. And I thought I couldn't do it. And I didn't think dieting was for me, or I couldn't exercise, or I didn't have the discipline or whatever. And so I reached back out to her, and I was like, I wanted to thank you so much for all your help and let me in your group, but this is just not for me. Like, I can't do it. I'm just going to go get weight loss surgery and figure it out from there. And she's like, did you commit? Like, did you commit to a program? And I'm like, well, I did the fucking workouts. Like, I did the workouts. And she's like, no, did you really commit? And I was like, I didn't. She's like, you got to drink the shakes, do the workouts, We've got an 80-day program coming out. Do it for 80 days. Commit for 80 days and see what happens. And reluctantly, with me and my mood of like, what if, like, I don't want to stay in that what if, I decided to. I still would not sign up for the discount because I was not going to coach. All I thought coaching was like the It Works people. You guys know those like really creepy It Works people that slide into your DMs like, oh, do you want to buy this bullshit wrap? Like, no, F off. That's what I thought MLMs were. Like, that's what I thought network marketing was, all of network marketing. I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I was not educated in it. And I literally just thought it was B freaking S. And so I automatically nixed that and I paid full price for Shakeology and did the program. The first phase or the first month, I lost 14 pounds and I was feeling amazing. I was feeling myself again. Then the second month, I'd almost lost 20. And then I had people starting to reach out to me because I was sharing my journey on social media like a coach, but I wasn't a coach yet. And so I kept sending them to Ashley. And then, you know, she's just like, why don't you just sign up for a coach, sign these people up? And so I signed up a couple people and then I got my first success story. I didn't really feel like coaching. I was just kind of dabbling in it. And then, you know, I helped 3 people my first month. And then the first person reached out to me and told me, thank you for changing my life. It's because of you that I'm not suicidal anymore. And that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. I decided to go all in at that point, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And you know what? I kind of really hate my job. And I was like, I didn't realize how bad I hated it until I did. And, you know, I wanted to be home and I had the mommy guilt and I was crying all the time. I literally hated my job to the point where, and Brittany knows this because I talk to her all the time about it. I literally would sit at a red light and I'd be like, you know what? I could just run this red light right now and I wouldn't have to go to that job. I don't care what happens to me. I just would not have to go there. And coaching was kind of that out for me. And so I decided I was going to work harder than anybody has ever worked in their entire life. And I stayed up late and I woke up early and I worked at every single moment. I worked I worked, you know, at my lunch. I worked sitting on the shitter. Like, I worked all the time. And in April, I was able to retire myself. I got my first check that was double my income. And I was like, you know what? F you, State Farm, I'm out. And I signed up and I quit my job and I decided to go all in. It's been almost a year since I have been full-time coaching. And y'all, it's not easy, especially trying to mom and all that stuff, but it's possible, you know, and I was able to retire myself, and you guys are going to see income progressions and stuff like that. But these 2 gorgeous women over here, Twin Mama Fitness over here is a twin mom. She works full time and she's still able to be a successful coach and bring in constant income. And so there's no such thing as being too busy. There's just a such thing as not wanting to put in the work. And that's what we're going to help you with. We're going to give you those tools, but you've got to be willing to put in that work. And it does take work. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. It takes work and it's going to be work, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day to know that you're building your dream. You're not building somebody else's. And that's one thing. I was not okay with working my ass off to build somebody else's dream. I wanted to work my ass off for myself. And that's what I did. And I have been full-time ever since. And it has been the most amazing, beautiful, spectacular ride ever. Like, y'all, I don't even know how. Like, this is coming from somebody who didn't even know what a freaking DM was at first. I was sitting I had Tequila Tuesdays with one of my really good friends. And y'all, I legit sat there and pulled up Instagram with her. And she's like, you have like 6 DMs. I was like, what is a DM? Like, I had no idea. I didn't know you could message people on Instagram. And then there it was. So you don't have to be technologically savvy. You don't have to know all the things. You just have to be willing to learn from us. And so I think that's the biggest objection that I had is I didn't know social media. And on top of that, my husband My husband was not supportive at all. He is just now coming around. He thought this was a pyramid scheme. He thought that this was a waste of time, and he thought I was just playing on social media. And he was my biggest motivator, my biggest driver to be successful, because if anybody tells me I can't, or if anybody tells me it's stupid, I'm going to prove them wrong. And the best way to do that is with bringing in income. And so he is now one of my decent cheerleaders. I mean, he's still not like the biggest cheerleader ever, but he's decent. And he is starting to ask questions, which is beautiful. But that's one thing, like, men don't really understand this. And my husband didn't. But if they love us, they'll support us, even if they don't understand. And then we show them how real this is. And so that was kind of like just a FU moment for me. But that is a little bit about my story. And then I'm going to mute myself so somebody else can talk. And then we'll go over some different objections. Like, I want to hear from them. What is something that you guys thought was an objection for you guys?
You first, Kay Sykes. Oh, that's my face.
So my objection was probably time, I guess. I was like, okay, so how am I going to do this? Like, for the longest time, I just wasn't sure how this was going to work. I wanted it to work. I wanted to, turn this into something bigger than what it was in the beginning, but like, how was I going to do it? And so, like Allie said, what I do, like, I get up in the morning typically, and I do my workout, because working out is actually a part of the business. You basically are paid to work on yourself, so it's pretty cool. But so I'll work out, but while I'm drinking my pre-workout, I'll send out invites, or I'll reach out, I'll connect to people, or I'll do something on the team page, or, just different things like that. And then, during my lunch breaks here lately, I've been having like more like calls with my coaches, like one-on-one calls. And so I'll do stuff during my lunch break. My lunch break at work is basically dedicated to coaching. And then at night, like nights like this, like 8 o'clock and beyond is when my work hours are. My husband thankfully is supportive in this whole thing. He's very supportive of me eventually becoming, full-time as far as coaching goes. And so I'm working towards that. And so to me, because I love it so much, like, I just make time for it. It's not that we don't have the time, it's that we aren't making the time. And so if something is so important that you claim it's the most important thing ever, you're going to make the time, right? And so I understand that I've got to make little sacrifices now to get to the bigger rewards, and to be able to be like Allie and stay at home with my kids, and not have to pay $1,200 a month in daycare expenses and things like that. And so that's what it is. And so, when I finally realized, okay, I'm running a business here, I've got to treat it like a business. I have to make sacrifices, because I'm still going to have this job. I still have to work. I actually like where I work and what I do, so that's a little different too. But I'm at the point where I'm really looking for more freedom now, and being home with my children. And if they're going to be the last kids that we have, because we had 2 at once, then I don't want to miss out on any more of their lives. And so I'm willing to make it work. And so time, like I said, you have the time, you just have to make the time. So that was my biggest thing in the beginning, was figuring out how I was going to make the time.
So for me, I tried to laugh when I went by my screen and it didn't work. My biggest objection when I did this, so Allie and Kayla never was in. Okay, so backing up. Allie, Kayla, and I have the same coach. We're all under Ashley. But Kayla never showed up in the group. I was used to seeing Allie in the group, and we basically did 80-day obsession together without talking to each other. We would see each other's posts and comment, but never really talked until we started coaching. So go through 80-day obsession. And like I said before, at the end of it, I could not believe my results. I could not believe that I was finding something that worked with my PCOS. And it was just such a godsend to me. And I felt like I was meant to do it. But realistically here, okay, guys, when I started my journey, that August of 2017, I weighed 387 pounds. So fast forward to, what was that, March 2018, last March, I reached out to my coach, but I still like weighed over 300 pounds. I think I probably still weighed over 350 at that point, because I had gained some of my weight back through the holidays. But I just felt called to do this. But who in their right mind is going to take me seriously as a health and wellness coach at over 300 pounds? Like, give me a freaking break. So I reached out to Ashley and I was like, hey, I feel like I'm supposed to do this, but I don't know if there's like a different way that I need to go about it. Or like if I'm just not meant to coach, I don't think I'd be a good coach because of, the reasons that I've already stated, blah, blah, blah. And she politely messaged me back that I was full of shit. And, that here, like the thing is that, you have these fit babes on Instagram and what they do is awesome and they work really hard. But it's very hard to find them relatable. So she, basically told me that my journey where I was right then was perfectly relatable to so many people. There were people that needed to hear my side of the story, and it's the before and afters are great, but what's in the middle is what will make you a damn good coach. Showing off the middle. People, so often leave out the really hard stuff in their journey. And, there might be coaches out there that are really great at showing off the before and afters and not the in-between. If you're with me, Kayla, or Allie, and you follow any of us, you know that our middle is like what we live for, basically. I mean, we really show you guys the upsides as well as the downsides. We're taking you through our journey and we're showing you that whether you're a twin mom, whether you hate your job, whether I don't work consistent hours at work either. Some days I'm working, perfect example. Today I was working until 9, hopped on the webinar. I'll be on here until 10 something or so. And then I'll go home and eat dinner because I still haven't eaten dinner yet. And then I have to be back at work at 7:30 tomorrow. So I knew that I had to make it work. So I put away those objections. I leaned in. I decided to just go for it. And here I am. But, if you have any doubt in your mind whether you would be a good coach because you are just starting your journey, in the middle of your journey, don't have a grip on what's going on, just know that you would make a damn good coach if you are willing to lean in and be the most authentic version of yourself. That is what makes a good coach, in my opinion, is being you. That is the best thing that you could do. Then you will be successful the more authentic you are to yourself.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I agree 100%. The thing is that like you aren't going to be for everybody, and that's okay. And about that, it like for years I was such a people pleaser that it would stress me out to the point that I finally just gave up on everybody. Like I gave up on trying to like check in with friends, check in with family when like they weren't doing the same. Like I would bend over backwards for people. Not that I wouldn't now, but the thing is that you're not going to be for everybody. And so you can't, if you are talking to people on social media and show no interest in you, that's okay. You don't want to deal with them anyways, And so, but the coaching opportunity for me has really allowed me to be unapologetically me. And that's a big deal because I've never been able to like really feel like that comfortable with myself to that extent. So I agree completely. Be authentically you.
And I think that's one thing that is why I've been so successful that I have is like, y'all, if you follow me, and I don't know if any of you do, but like me, I am I like drop 3 F-bombs. I don't mean to, but it's like I drop the F-bombs. Like and I feel like each of us are so authentically us that is just how we've become successful. But y'all, I don't want you to think, because me at the beginning is not who I am now. When I first started this, I had no idea who I was. I was so scared of judgment. I was so scared of all that I had to grow into this person. And I want to speak for the other girls because I'm sure that they had to also. So like, if you're like, I don't even know who I am, or I don't even know if I can stick to my own journey, let alone help people with theirs. And I would say like the best fucking accountability and best thing to keep you on your journey is coaching. I have never been more consistent than when I made it my job to be consistent. I have never stayed on track. And y'all, I've tried Beachbody before. I've tried all this before, but coaching is the one common denominator that has made sure that I have been consistent, and I have lost 100 pounds plus. Coaching and Shakeology, those two things have been game changers for me. And so if you can't stay consistent in your own journey, I'd like to challenge you and say, like, coaching's the way to go, because that is the only thing that's ever been able to help me stay consistent. And I know Brittany, I'll speak for her because she shared that with me too, that like, if it was not for coaching, I wouldn't be as successful as I am. And I wouldn't be the badass MFer I am right now.
I have to agree because the biggest thing for me, the thing I was very consistent about, gosh, stop doing that. The biggest thing I was consistent about was being inconsistent in my health and fitness journey. I would like do something for like 3 days and then stop. And then I would, cut out this certain food group for a few weeks and then I'd get back into it, And so what has really helped me is being a coach and sharing my journey on social media and having to be there for other people. And, I get told so much that while I used to work out with, they're like, I cannot believe the results you've seen with whatever you're doing at home compared to what you were doing at the gym. And it's because like I'm more consistent. I've got the accountability, and it's just amazing. It really is.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go over income a little bit, and we're going to share our incomes and a little bit about it. We're going to just skim over it because at the end of the day, y'all, we're going to share numbers, and they're real numbers, but they all are directly correlating to how many lives we've impacted. And we did not get into this for the money. We did not start coaching for the money. I know I started coaching because I love the feeling of getting to help people, and being compensated for it is just an extra bonus. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go over that in training, and then I'm going to let you gorgeous faces go. I want you guys, if you guys have questions through this, we're going to have a really quick Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, start putting them in the chat now so we can really quick get over them, because I don't want to keep you guys too past 10 o'clock. Eastern, whatever time you guys are on. So here are the different income progressions. So I'm going to go over mine, and then I'll let the girls go over theirs. So this income progression, February 2018 is when I joined. I knew that I wanted to, like when I signed up to be a coach, my first thing was I wanted to get that damn Shakeology paid for, because I wasn't super bought into it in the first place. And so I was like, if it's free, then it's cool. So that was my goal. And I was able to do that. I signed up February 23rd, and I was able to earn $224.98 within my first part of month. And then June, I was all in. I was coaching at this point full time, and I was, guns blazing. I made $1978.02 that month. And October was $2,488.36. And if you guys see, it's as I'm growing a team, as I am changing more lives, the income of course grows. January 2018, it was $5,224.62. And this month we are looking at $6,700, roughly. That's just my progression, by my foreseen future. And that is real money. Like it's real, but it's only a direct correlation to how many lives I've impacted and how many people I've been able to help in this journey. And y'all, every single one of those dollars, I don't see dollars. I see lives that I have helped and I've changed, and then the lives of my team that are now changing other lives, because I have now got a team under me that are changing more lives. And so that's when you start seeing your income grow more. I'm going to go over shortly how we make money, and then I'll let the girls talk about theirs, because I know they don't. I mean, I don't mind talking about money, but we all really don't like it, but you know. So the one thing is commission. So that's the one thing that you're mostly going to see right at the beginning is commission. That is 25% on every single life that you change. You'll earn 25% of whatever they've purchased. So if it's like a starter pack, like a challenge pack, you'll get $50 to $60 and vice versa. After commission is something called a fast start bonus. So if you help any 6 people, or 5 people, in any period, you get an extra $100. That is Beachbody basically saying, hey, boo, you doing the damn thing. I'm going to throw an extra $100 your way just because you badass. That's basically what they're doing. And they'll do that every single time. Every 5 you sell, you'll get an extra $100 just for shits and giggles. And that is another awesome incentive. Another amazing incentive is matching bonus. Is when you start growing a team, you get 1% of what your team does. And then the residual income portion, which is something so amazing, because that is what's going to help you when years down the road you build an organization and you want to go on vacation to Punta Cana for 10 days and you don't even touch your computer. You're still getting a paycheck because of this residual income. So once you hit the first rank in the business, you'll start getting what's called a like a team cycle bonus. So you'll get $14 every single cycle, which does not seem like a lot, but just last month, my team cycle bonus was almost $600. And then once you become a diamond, you get $18 every single cycle. And I don't want to get too much into that because y'all, it blew my head off first. Just know it's there. Another thing is once you become leaders in the company, there's things called Star Diamond bonuses. And so if you become a 2, 5, or 15 Star Diamond, you get these bonuses, which are just dependent on how well Beachbody did. But it goes anywhere from a couple grand up to $15,000 for those quarterly bonuses, which you get paid out 4 times a year once you hit that rank. So those are how you make income in Beachbody. There are a couple other bonuses and stuff like that. But for right now, that's the high points. And that all starts the second you sign up, you're able to start making commissions. So that is a little bit about my story and a little bit about my income progression, and how I've been able to impact lives. And I'll let one of the other girls start.
Is that, Brittany, you are just quick to point fingers. Okay, so I'll share real quick. As you can see my graphic right there, that's when I look put together and not this hot mess express you're seeing right now. So like I said, I've been coaching since, March of 2017. My first paycheck was like $50. Okay, I sold a challenge pack and I got $50 for it. And, at first it was like, okay, cool. Like I'm seeing something, and it became like super inconsistent because like I really didn't know what I was doing and I wasn't really putting forth a whole lot of effort. Like I now know what I should have been doing back then. But, when we were preparing this webinar and getting our numbers together, I was like, okay, let me see what I did back in January 2018, because January of 2019 was a pretty big month for me. Because again, I do this part-time. So, and I'm sure it could be a lot more than what it is, but I was pretty impressed with that number. Okay. And so I looked back at January 2018 and I was like, holy cow, like we're looking at what? $1,100 difference. I don't know. I don't really do math, but I just teach people how to, work at a credit union for a living. That's all. But actually, that's my full-time job. I didn't tell you guys what I did full-time. I'm a trainer at a local credit union. I've been there for about 11 years. So fun little fact about me. But yeah, so, I've got a decent team going, and I would say the majority of my income would be, retail as far as enrolling customers and coaches and whatnot. But I do have a pretty steady team cycle bonus like Allie was talking about. And I get the fast start bonuses, and I was just thinking like, I didn't even really know what those were for. I just got them and thought, okay, cool, like extra money. So Allie, thank you for sharing that. 2 years in, I didn't even really know what they were for. Brittany, all you, babe.
Come on, Brittany. You pointing my fingers at you now, mother effer.
Yeah, it's a really good time. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I don't go big on this one. Yay! Okay, so I was waiting for it to happen.
What are you even talking about,
I was
dude?
waiting for my face to be the size of my real
You
face.
want me to make it that way? Because I will.
I don't. I need to see the numbers. So
I want to see every single one of your pores.
So
you're going to see mine.
I started coaching at the very end of March. Like Kayla's first, her first paycheck is on here, but like she said, it was basically like $50.
Yeah.
It was essentially the same kind of thing. I just really wanted to jump in it, guns blazing. So I made sure that when I decided that I was going to start coaching, I was going to go balls to the wall with it. I was going to make it worth my time because I don't have kids yet. I can't wait to be a mom someday, but I don't have kids yet. And still, I value my time very wisely. Time is money to me. I have a lot of shit that I could be doing. So jumped in guns hot, sold a challenge pack, I think, something else on there. Then I, worked consistently. I started working consistently. I'm not going to BS you guys. During August and September, I was really going through a funk because, I am not immune to depression. I was actually just talking about it today. My days are definitely fewer and far between. I am equipped with the tools to help myself now, and amazing women that help me too. But, I was going through a funk, but I started really staying consistent with my business. And January 2019, I made just short of $1,500. And that is all, working in pockets of time. I work, 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 2 hours here and there. I make it work with my schedule because, like I said before, I don't have a consistent schedule. But what I am consistent about is showing up for my girls and making sure that they are having the same life-changing experience that I have had with these programs. So the second that I started being consistent, the dollar started reflecting, and that's not too bad for, part-time income. It's really actually not that far off from my full-time income. So something worth putting in perspective. I started coaching to, like change lives. I would literally do this for free. You guys might think I'm bullshitting you, but I'm not. I would do it for free. But from the money aspect of it, I wanted to be able to save up to, maybe buy like an apartment. And now I'm saving up for a home on a single income. So it's really opened up doors for me.
Yeah. And that's like the big difference is like your income's going to be direct reflection on how hard or how much you're able to work. And so me, in January 2019, I'm in a completely different boat than them too. Because I work, 40 to 50 hours a week doing this. And I'm sure, how many hours a week do you guys feel like you're working on your business?
I was about to type that in. I probably work like on average, maybe 10 hours a week.
I'm about the same. I would say 10. If I'm really busting ass, I would say about 15 a week.
Yeah, because like the other day, like most of this past weekend with the sickness going around between all of us here at the house, I didn't work at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the best thing is like, as long as you're staying consistent, you're going to see that income. And I know whenever I was working full time, it was in the early mornings, it was in the pockets, and it was on the weekends. I would work every single weekend, except Saturdays. I would work all Sunday, and I'd work maybe an hour on Saturdays. And now I completely unplug on Saturdays. So it's just all depending on what sacrifices. And I always say I always say my goal is to work like others won't, so I can live a life later that others aren't able to. And so just know your income it'll be a direct reflection on how hard you work or how many lives you're impacting. And you can work as little or as much as you want, because here's two different spectrums, and it's possible for you too. So we're going to go over package options and pricing, and then I'm going to let y'all scoot. Can you girls keep an eye on the chat and see if there's any questions as I go?
Yeah.
Perfecto. All right. So here are 3 different package options for when you sign up. All of these will waive your coach enrollment fee. So there's, hold on. I was dying. And like swigging a jalapeno margarita as I'm dying of choking is probably not the best idea I've ever had. Okay. So 3 options, and they all waive your coach enrollment fee of $39.95. So the basics, which just comes with the unlock of, it'll come with a year of our workouts. So it'll come with a year of Beachbody On Demand, which has over 700 workouts. It will come with 30 days of our superfood shake. Those are essential. It'll come with a shaker cup, your step, and stickers, these really cool stickers that you put on every time you finish a phase. It'll come with printed accessory guides, and then it'll also come with us. So you're going to get access to our boot camp. You're going to basically get put in just like a challenger would. You're going to get put in our boot camp and get our mentorship for your fitness journey. And then you're going to get put in our team page. I will speak for what I do, and I'm sure the other girls do the exact same thing, because I think last time we talked about this, they did. I will get you plugged into my mentorship. So what I do is I work closely with that group of girls that sign up, and I'll mentor them. Then we'll also get you plugged into a 14-day Getting Started Right Coach University. And so this will be 14 days, and it's a self-paced. So you can work as slowly or as fast as possible, and I do recommend just getting it out of the way so we can start working together. And that'll be able to give you that crash course into coaching. We hold team calls, and so there's no freaking shortage of resources once you sign up. And all of this comes within that $215. Y'all, that's literally cheaper than what I spend on a gym membership. It's $20. And I think the best thing, and I'm going to start this, is like the best freaking thing about when you're starting a business with Beachbody is, if you're doing other MLMs, like you're doing other network marketing companies like LuLaRoe or, Monet or all this other shit, like you've got to invest in a shit ton of product and pay, upwards of $500 to thousands of dollars in product that you've then got to turn around and sell, or you're out money to be able to be profitable. The only investment of starting this business is the investment in you. That's it. Because it's the exact same price as a customer as it is as a coach. So you basically get to start a business for free. You get the upwards of chances to make 6-7 figures for the cost of what a regular customer would. And so I always like to emphasize that, because a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, $215. And I'm like, oh my gosh, $215 to change your life and start a business. It's freaking steal. And you're only investing in the products you use. This is the one, though, I recommend, because it does get everything in the basics, but you get your mama crack, which I call it. Others call it unicorn, whatever. It's pre-workout, all natural, plant-based, legit. It's like crack. It's like literally I run on it nonstop. And then the recover. And this is essential for if you're going to be doing workouts and you haven't done workouts in a while, you're going to be super sore. This helps really a lot with repairing those glycogens and helping you with not being sore. And then the max, if you want to get all cray-cray, it comes with 2 tubs of the recover. It comes with a, 1 of the Energize and 2 recharges. I've never used recharge. I don't really recommend that one ever, if you want my honest opinion, but if you feel obliged, I ain't going to keep you. So yeah, that's the different package options. Again, the coach enrollment, completely free. It gets waived with this. So the only investment you've got to do is to get into the boot camp and invest in the products. So once you sign up, what happens, right? Like once you give me your hard-earned money, or you give Brittany or you give Kayla your hard-earned money, what happens? Well, then we welcome you with open arms. We get you plugged into our boot camps, and then we'll get you your link to the New Coach University. Once you start that New Coach University and finish it, I'm sure they do this too, so I'm just going to go ahead and speak for them. We'll schedule a one-on-one call. And from there, we're going to talk goals. We're going to talk questions. We're going to talk ambitions, all the things. And then we're going to start working together, and we're going to start mentoring you and teaching you exactly how we've been able to be successful. And y'all, I basically built my business on Google and YouTube. And so I'm going to make you be, resourceful. So of course you're going to want to look up questions and stuff like that, but we're always here to help you and mentor you. But that's what we're looking for. Like, we're really looking for women that are hardworking, that are self-sufficient, that are go-getters, that are ready to do the damn thing. You don't have to want to retire from your job. You don't have to you can just want to earn a little bit of extra money for, to be able to pay for daycare or to go on vacations. And so really just know coming into this, like, your number one priority is to work on you. And then once you do that, then the next thing is to help other people. So if you've on this call and you already have Beachbody On Demand and you're already, in one of our challenge groups, then the only thing you would have to do is pay that $39.95 fee. And we'll send you a reimbursement form, and you'll get reimbursed that fee to be able to sign up with us. So I think that's all. Did I miss anything, Brittany or Kayla? No? Okay, perfect. So do we have any questions?
While we wait for that, I did post it in the chat, guys. These are the most popular options right now because Transform 20 just came out. If you want to do something else, if you have different goals, we have other options. So just reach out to whoever invited you, because it's not one size fits all. We want to do whatever is going to work best for you.
Yeah, exactly. But I do want to emphasize that, y'all, I know that you're scared, because I was scared shitless when I started this. But I think the best thing that I can say is lean into that fear. Lean into it, because I don't ever, and I know for me, and I know y'all, you don't ever want to sit in that place of what if. What if this was my solution? What if this was the one thing that could change mine and my family's lives? And so you never know until you try. And of course, if you absolutely freaking hate coaching and you suck, like you are the world's worst freaking coach ever, then guess what? The worst thing that happens is you get in the best shape of your life. I don't know about you, but I like my odds, because you're not investing in anything coaching related, products that are going to sit in your house or anything like that. You're really just investing in you and your journey. And I don't know about y'all, but if any single day of the week, I will place a bet on myself. That I will bet on myself tenfold before I bet on other people. And so investing in this and knowing that really all you're investing in is your journey, it's kind of like a bonus business. And I think it's just such a freaking amazing opportunity. And that's one thing that sold me is if I'm the world's worst coach, I don't lose anything. I'm already using the products. I'm literally only paying the products that, and then, like MK says, 30 days, if you absolutely hate Shakeology, if you hate us, if you hate coaching, we'll help you refund it. You're not going to. That's why we are so we know that we're so behind our products that we don't care if you drink your entire thing of Shakeology. We don't care if, you do all your mama crack. If you hate it, on day 29, you can refund it. And we'll help you with that. But you ain't gonna. Your life's gonna change just like ours if you let it. And again, what if? Not what if I fail again? What if, I suck? What if this? What if that? What if this is your solution like it's been ours?
Right.
Yeah. And, one thing that I've said on the last call, I say it all the time, is it's going to happen. Allie's got her thinking cap on, and it's going to happen.
What? Oh,
you're big. No, you don't have to. Okay, there it is. The worst case scenario is not that you start coaching and you figure out that it's just not for you. The worst case scenario is not that you join and you're like, you know what? I like the stuff, but it's just, not for me. It's not going to be for everybody. Not everything is for everybody. Duh. That's not the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that you could actually change somebody's life. I've sold like Mary Kay before, and I wasn't into it because I felt like I was trying to tell people that this mascara was going to change their Tuesday, and it's not. But with this, and I don't even refer to it as selling, but sharing this opportunity, I honestly feel like it's an obligation for me to share this, but you get to actually change lives. You get to work on yourself. You don't have any kind of inventory. You don't have any kind of business investment. You know, you could be the best coach out there, but you don't get to figure that out because you never took a chance. That is the worst case scenario. You have nothing to lose, you know? You see how this changes our lives. Like Ali said, it's the difference between joining our accountability group and joining this coaching is nothing. It's non-existent. There is no difference. So why not take a chance, you know?
I just wouldn't want to stay in that realm of what if I'm the next top coach, or what if this helps me get out of that debt, or what if I'm able to impact. That was one thing, like I just wanted to impact one life. I just wanted to help one person feel the way I felt. And that second I did, y'all, I know Brittany and Kayla can agree, like it's literally like crack. It's like you just want to help more and more people, the better you feel. And so that's all.
I remember that there was the first time I ever got results, and MK, I'm going to get to your question here. The first time I ever got somebody send me their results, it was like 9:00 at night. I'm a night worker outer. I don't like mornings, and I don't like working out in the mornings. But I was struggling to get jazzed up for my workout, and I got that text, and she had lost like something amazing, like, 4 pounds in 2 weeks or something. I mean, and she had just been looking for something to help her. And I knew that she was struggling because I knew her personally. And the feeling that I got from that, well, first of all, I felt like I could build a freaking house with how much energy I had, or at least lift one. But that feeling has kept me coming back to pouring into my business every single day, because I swear to God, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. I mean, it has shown me, coaching has shown me that I can have two passions. I love what I do. I'm here at 10:00 at night. But I'm passionate about what I do for coaching as well. So,
that's one thing. Like I dreaded Mondays so bad, and I knew I no longer wanted to be excited that it was Friday and dread Mondays. Mm-hmm. I no longer wanted to cry at the thought of on Sunday that I knew I had to go back to work on Monday, or I no longer wanted to be like, oh yeah, it's Friday. Because I was spending all freaking time of my life, the entire time of my life, wishing away 5 fucking days a week. Wishing away time that I could have been enjoying life, time that I could have been celebrating life, other than saying, oh my God, 4 days till Saturday, 3 days till Saturday, 2 days till Saturday, 1 day till Saturday. No, F that. Now I get excited about Mondays, and I am 10:15 at night, literally like on crack cocaine, no tequila, but it's like the same thing, excited to welcome you guys. And I know Brittany and Kayla are the exact same way, that y'all, when you find that thing, and even if this isn't it, like my goal, and I know what their goal is, at the end of this, I want you to know one way or another that you're like, this is for me, this is going to be my solution, or I'm going to go all in, or this is not for me, but it was great information and it's going to help me to find my passion. Those are the two options. I don't want you to be in this middle zone. So if you have any questions, this is the last chance, or you can shoot us an email, because 2 girls, put your email in there just in case. But that's what we want for you. We want you to know one way or another. It's not our job to persuade you to join our team or persuade you that this is what you want. It's our job to present our solution, and then it might be yours, or it might spark something in you that yours is. Whether it's opening a bakery, or, doing whatever sets your soul on fire, I want you to know that I am freaking living proof that you do not have to fucking settle. That you do not have to settle for the norm, the 9 to 5. I am a freaking college dropout. I had my child at 20 years old. If anybody was supposed to only make $20K a year, it's me. But I decided I was not going to make that my story. And I was like, I'm going to take this into my hands. And this is the one job that it doesn't not matter if you're black, white, purple, green, fat, skinny, gorgeous, ugly, whatever. It's what you make of it, and it's what you decide that you're willing to work for. Because your income, your potential is just a direct correlation on how you work. There's nothing judging you. There's no prerequisites. You aren't capped at a 1% raise. You are not given vacation days. You're not working for this freaking 401k that you may or may never see, or this social security that you're paying into, or whatever. This is everything that could give you your life and then some. Sorry, I get on my soapbox. Let me stop.
Kayla, do you want to answer Madison's question? I can, but I want to give you an opportunity. Do you want to answer Madison's question, or do you want me to?
I
wanted to ask
see.
them.
How to overcome being embarrassed or scared to post on social media. I just started. I feel like I remember the first time I posted a transformation photo, because it wasn't like this crazy transformation. I was nervous. Like, I felt so sick to my stomach, but I knew if I was going to make this into a business and actually like inspire other people, I had to do it. And so I did it. And that first transformation photo just was a snowball effect for all the other things that I share. I shared something super vulnerable about a week ago, and it wanted to make me like just vomit, but I knew people needed to hear it. And what I'm amazed at is when you do those things, you're going to get more love from that than anything else. I've never really received any like hate comments or anything like that. Like, to me, you've got to find your tribe, and the only way that you're going to find your tribe to support you is by being yourself. And so as long as you're not being like fake or like, someone that's not you, like, I think you're going to get a lot of love from it. And you just have to know, like, people want to follow the journey. I was talking to someone today that wants to enroll, and she's been asked by so many other coaches to enroll with them, but she's ignored them because she wants to enroll with me because of how relatable I am to her. And she wouldn't know I was relatable to her if I didn't share my journey. And so I'm just like, coming from someone who like would never show up to something like this, like that's all over my face, and like, just never really comfortable with myself. Like, that really says a lot, because I just am to the point where I'm just like, I'm just going to share it, whatever, submit, so you just have to kind of like do it. You have to post your first post and just take baby steps. Like, I wasn't just completely like opening up about my story and my journey, like right off the bat. Like, it took a while, but the first one you do, it becomes a little easier for the next one. And then the next one becomes more addicting because you're receiving a lot of love and stuff. And you're helping other people, regardless if they enroll with you, they're going to reach out to you and tell you thank you. And so that's what really.
And having your husband post your first photo. That's what I did. I couldn't do it. Like, no, like, y'all, seriously, I was like, oh, I was not, I don't know, I guess I wasn't as like confident as Kayla. I didn't want to do it. I refused to do it. I called Brittany, the first time I had a throw up post, the first time I got super vulnerable, and like I made up this entire post, and I'm so proud of it, and I could not hit send. Like, I could not post it. I like literally couldn't. I was disabled by fear. And Brittany was like, you better post that shit. Like, you better post that shit. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I said, post it and leave your phone in the other room and go do something.
Exactly. And so I wasn't going to. I went to cancel it and accidentally posted it, and I threw my phone and I didn't check it for another 6 hours. And I literally wanted to throw up. And so sometimes it's like that. And like my very first transformation photo, I had my husband post it. I was like, honey, I can't do it. I was like, I just look at myself and think disgusting because I didn't love myself at that point. And so I had him post it, and just the love. Y'all, I can tell you, I've been doing this for a year and I get super, super authentic to me, meaning like I throw F-bombs in front of my kid. Like that's just who I am. And I still to this day, like don't get that many haters. And I don't get that many people that I more than anything get people that say you inspire the shit out of me. And every single time that somebody says you inspire the shit out of me, I'm like, dude, it makes me want to dig deeper and make me get to want to know myself. And then personal development. If we will talk your fucking head off about personal development, and it's something that really helps you get out of your own damn head. But at the end of the day, it's just you and your fear, and that is all that is. And nothing ever good happens inside of our comfort zone. And so that's one thing we're really going to push you guys with. And I know I push my girls with is getting outside that comfort zone. And every single time you want to throw up is every single time and every single jump to being the person you're supposed to be. Okay, I know this has been so freaking long. Does anybody have anything else, or any of you girls? Let me mute myself. I talk so freaking much. Why don't you guys tell me to shut up?
We try to, but you talk over us.
Yeah. I felt like I talked a lot more in the last one. I just wasn't on my game this time. It's all good.
She's off her K game.
I'm off my K game.
All right, well then I guess we're going to let y'all scoot. I wanted to thank you guys so freaking much for spending the time with us. I know this ran a little long. I hope that you got so much value out of this and so much inspiration to decide for you what this is. But if you have any questions, we all placed our email in the chat. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Grab that email because it's going to disappear once this is over. And so you can email us and make the subject either I've got questions or I'm in. So we can go ahead and get you set up. I am taking 5 girls on my new coach mentorship. I don't know, how many girls are you guys taking, just so we can stay intentional, or do you guys have caps?
I'm just doing 5.
Okay.
I plan to I'm working on building my mentorship. And so I'm planning on doing one probably in April or May.
Okay. Perfect.
Not that I'm not taking anyone now, but it won't occur until after the trip.
Awesome. So that is it. I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming. And cheers to following your dreams. This says follow your dream and follow your dreams. All right. Bye, girls.
Bye, y'all.